I'm going to share. Should I share my entire screen? I think I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay, let me share my entire screen. Great. So you can see my entire screen now. Fine. So I'm going to create a new window. So I'm creating a new window. Fine. And then I'm going to take this one off. So let me just do don't save. Great. So I'm going to put this somewhere here. Awesome. Sorry. So I was trying to put this up for you guys to see. So now I'm going to create a new. I want to create a new folder. So I will come here first of all. Let me create a new file. So I'll create a new file. I want to create it as py, and then I'm going to call it. I'm going to save it. So Control S is to save. So I'm going to go to. Can you see my screen now? I'm going to go to picture.
Yes, we can.
I'll call a new. I want to create a new folder, and then I'm going to call it py. So what is the name of the package of the module that I want to do? Because in that module is where I want to save all the function. So I'm going to call it greet. Let's say greet underscore user. You understand? That's the name of the folder. So I've created it. Then you remember I came here because I want to save a file. So what I want to save is this is my code that I want to run, the one I just opened. So I will now come here and say, let me save it again to be the same name with my folder. So it will be greet underscore user. That's the name I want to save it as. So I'll say save. So I've created a file, greet underscore user. So I can still come back and say, okay, from file, I want to open that folder. So I'll open folder. So I'll go to the directory I saved it. This is the folder I want to greet user. So select folder. Can you see that my VS Code has rebooted again? So I want to delete this one out. No, this is not time to show you. All right, it has rebooted again, but you can see that I have greet user here. So let me make my screen a little bit big so that I can see it. I can see I have greet user here. So I'm going to make this a little bit. So I'll click on greet user. So the greet user is already here. Fine. So now in this greet user, what I want to do is that it will greet user good morning, good afternoon, good evening, for example. So I'm going to say that I'm going to create a function called def. It will take the username, and then I'll call this one morning. Listen, it's very, very simple. It will take the user's name as a function. You know what is this already, and then it's going to print out. Normally, I should have said it's going to return. Let's say return. It's going to return f string. We did this one yesterday. I say good morning, and then it's going to say good morning to the user. Good morning, user. Oxon. So that's that one. Then I want to create another one called dev. I want to say afternoon. And it's going to take user. Oh my God. And it's going to say return. I want to return f string, and I want to say, so it's returning a string. That's what it's returning. So good afternoon. I'm going to write user again. And I want to just copy this for the next one, which is this. And I'm going to say evening, right? So it's going to be good evening. So I can make this a little bit, I can make this very, very bulky by saying that it will call the function based on the time zone. Well, that can be, so I'm going to say night. So I'll say good night, user. Right? So these are 4 functions I've created. 4 functions inside one py file. So I'll save it. So I can come back here and click plus new file. So I can say, okay, I want to create a notebook file this time. That, oh no, let me not create a notebook. Let me create an app file first. App.py. So I've created an app py. So this is a Python script also. So I'm going to say import, in this my app py. I'm going to say import greet user. You understand? I want to greet user. Now if I say import greet user, if I say okay, that is done, I can say that impute, or let me say user is equal to impute. What is your name? What is your name? And then when I ask the person what is your name, I want to now say from our greet user, I'll say greetings, and the greetings is equal to be greet user dot, you use dot to call the function inside that application, that file. So you see, if it's morning, I want to greet them, I'll say morning. And remember when we created it, we said you take a user, so it's going to be user. Now this user can be a name, can be anything, doesn't mean it's user. Can be A, can be Z, can be whatever. Then once I'm done, I want to print greetings. Simple. This is it. So I'll run this. Let me save it and then I'll run it. Can you see my screen? It's asking me what is your name. So I'm going to say Pip. See what it's saying? Good morning, Pip. So I've been able to call this good morning function that I saved in this file into another file called app.py. Name good morning. That's all. That's what we are saying. I can still come back here and say, okay, I want to create an IPYNB. So I'll say notebook.ipynb and run it. So it's here already. So I'll clear this part. And I can say import greet user. That's what I said. So I'll run it. So it's going to take its time to load. And then it comes back and say, I can say, let me just come back here and copy this code, please. Let's copy this code and come back here and paste it. So let's paste it here. So greet user is equals to good morning and all of that. If I run this, it's going to ask me for an input up there. Your notebook asks you here, for Jupyter Colab asks you here, Colab asks you, for VS Code asks you at the top. So I'm going to say Pip again. And then it's going to print it. Good morning, Pip. That's what I said. And I said, you can also come back and say, maybe you create another, you can either say from import greeter like this. You can see, say, import greeter as GU, for example. That's how we greet our user. Maybe we want to, instead of saying greet user all the time in this place, let's import it for shortcut as GU. You understand? So we run it. So it means that in this place, I can come here and just write only GU and run this thing. It's still going to ask me what's your name. So I'm going to write great. And it's going to say good morning, great. You see it? Then I said, you can also come and say from, because this time we've already imported them here, but we can say from greet underscore user. We just want to import only morning. That's what we want to use inside. And once we do this, I run it here. I can't close the browser. So once we do that, how do you expect me to see your screen if I close the browser? I want to be seen. Imagine I close the browser. The message you just sent, I will not see it. So that's why I don't close the browser, so that I can see your comments. So from greet user, I want to just use only morning. So I can say, okay, it's still the same thing as this code, Control C and paste it here. But instead of using GU anymore, I will not be using GU anymore because I've already imported just morning. And I'll still run this part. If I say my name is D, for example, it's still going to say good morning, D. But I cannot come here and say something like this. I'll go say evening or afternoon. Let me put afternoon. I can't do something like this. You know why? I've not imported afternoon on its own. So the only way I can get afternoon is because I have to import the full folder, which is this one I did, or just import afternoon on its own. Or I can just come here and say import morning and also import afternoon and run this part. So I can do morning and it would say, let me say G, and it say good morning. If I come in, then afternoon, can you see that afternoon can work now? And then you can say G also, and it says good afternoon, G, based on what we have coded here. So I want to understand, is this not simple? So what is the issue that we were, somebody was saying, I don't know what we are doing, I don't know what we are doing. Guys, so that's as simple as it is. So all we did here is the same thing we even did on the math. It's just that sometimes when you guys see code, you are just scared. And the next you start saying it's hard, though, it's hard, and you will not learn it. It's very simple. So I think that is clear already. So um, so I don't have any question you want to ask. If you have any question, you can ask. So that's the end of class for today. This is like 2 classes in one, guys. So you have to do your assignments. The deadline is today by 11:59. So by tomorrow, folders will be deleted. By Wednesday, you'll be grouped. Wednesday and Thursday, you'll be grouped for your project.